Hey guys, this is hello, welcome. So this is the second episode of the Gorilla Podcast. Basically a simple podcast talking about the world of everyday carry, EDC, and gear. Um, so today's topic is budget gear, and basically getting into the world of EDC, basically on a lower budget. We'll be talking about some knives, maybe some watches, and a little bit. Um, this is actually take two of this because I tried to do it in a different format and it didn't really work. I hope this works. So I'm going to start with knives. So basically, in the world of EDC, it can range from a wide variety. It can range from MTECs that are like $3 to thousands of dollar customs. So there's a wide variety, and that's kind of what makes it more fun because you get to hunt out, what your price range is and what in that price range is going to suit you best. In really any price range, there's probably good stuff. Probably not $3, but yeah. And so I'm going to give two examples of great knives. So started with the Opinel, number 8 specifically, but any of the Opinel. They're like a wood handle. They usually have a beech wood handle. You can get different versions, but friction folder with a collar lock, you can find them for like $15. You can get them in carbon steel or stainless steel. They are amazing. Their value is amazing. They are so slicey, um, and they're just so versatile. You can take the collar off if you're, in the UK or something, and you can't have a knife with a lock. They do have versions that are under 3 inches, so like once you take the collar lock off, it's practically legal anywhere. So yeah, that's a great option. You can find those on Amazon, really anywhere. They're easy to customize because they have a wood handle. I have one, and I simply took a lighter and like a wood engraver, and I kind of burned it and aged the wood a little bit, and it looks awesome. Um, and that was a great purchase, and the value is amazing. I mean, $15, and the quality and like what you're getting for like performance wise is competing with a lot of more expensive knives. So the second one I would recommend is the Ontario Rat number 2 specifically, but the number 1 as well. The number 1 is just the bigger version. The number 2 is the smaller version. The number 2 is just under 3 inches. I think it's 2.8 or something like that. They go for around $30, maybe $35. They come in coated blades, satin blades. You can find many different colors for the handles. So it's basically a liner lock thumb stud knife. For around $30, you can get the AUS 8 version, and for around $50, you can get the D2 version. I would probably say they are probably the best budget knife out there, and you're never going to need anything more. If you're going to pay more for a knife, that's because you want to. That's because you want something that's cooler, that's higher end, that has extra features or whatever. But I think this knife is literally amazing. Mine is just a simple Rat 2, like $30, and it has basically drop shot accent, and it's just amazing. So that's basically my two main recommendations for knives. Another one that I haven't checked out yet, I don't have personal experience on this, but I know that a lot of people have recommended it, is really anything coming out from Civivi or the budget brand under WE Knives. All their knives are roughly $50. They have some ones that are in Damascus that are more, but they're amazing. And a lot of them have different versions. A lot of them are flippers, and a lot of them have great action, great blades. I think they're almost all D2. Some of them might be different, but most of them are D2. And that's a great place to check. So moving on, I'm going to talk about what I would say for watches. If you're just getting into watches, you want a simple watch that's going to tell the time. I would say Timex Expedition. Um, they have some really just simple watches. They have many different varieties. You can get leather bands, canvas bands. You can get. I think they even have they have digital and analog in the Expedition series. They're waterproof. They're amazing for the price, and I would say that's probably my recommendation for watches. I've had a Timex Expedition Scout with a leather band for probably 6 months. I got it just about when I was getting into EDC, and that's been my main watch for a while, and it's amazing. I really only have two complaints with it, but that's more. They're more personal. things. That's basically that it doesn't have a bezel. That's completely personal. That would just be helpful for me. And then the other thing is that I wish it was more accurate. You do have to put, correct it, every 2 to 3 days generally. But that's fine. I mean, it's a cheaper watch. It's gonna get off the time, and it probably only gets off 10 seconds every 3 days, which that's not good, in the general scheme of watches. But for the prices, you can get them for. I mean, I found one for mine for like $13 or something. Like it was really cheap, but they generally go for 30, 40. Um, yeah. So again, with getting into stuff, I think um, one tip that I'd probably recommend when you're trying to look for budget stuff, I think we tend to kind of overthink the gear when we're in the beginning. Obviously, when you're in the beginning, you don't know a lot. But I don't think if you take a couple recommendations, a couple YouTube videos, whatever, with some recommendations, I don't think you're going to have a bad knife. I don't think you're going to get something you don't like. And even if it is a budget knife that you could resell and probably get practically the same amount of money that you spent on it. You're not going to take a bath on a budget knife. But I think we tend to overthink our purchases, especially in the knife world. Like, oh, it has to be perfect. Oh, it has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. Especially in the budget world, there's going to be imperfections, and if the pros outweigh the cons, that's where it shines. So I think both of the knives and the watch, the 3 pieces of gear that I've recommended, are all going to have imperfections. Every single knife you ever get, every piece of gear you ever get, is going to have imperfections. So it's a matter of finding where it matters too much for you, and so yeah, that's basically the general tip I'd like to recommend. I think I've learned that over the past 6 months that I care too much. Um, and I think sometimes you just need to be like, oh, cool, it's from a good company, it's going to be good. You might just go for it. If you like it, go for it. You can always sell them. Obviously, when you're buying a piece of gear, you don't want to buy it to sell it. You want to buy it to use it and enjoy it. But I think we kind of overthink sometimes what our purchases are going to be. So yeah, so I would say those are some great recommendations if you want to get started on starting kind of a not necessarily collection, but kind of just getting into some gear. Um, I would watch some videos from Blade HQ if you want to learn about a lot about knives. You can go to their website. They have tons of videos up on their channel. You can learn a lot about different companies and different stuff. They're super nice. They're just an awesome company. Um, and so, yeah, I would go to them if you want to look for knife content. For general EDC content, I go to Taylor Martin on YouTube. I think he just recently changed his name to Taylor Martin, or you could look up Best Damn EDC and that'll come up. But yeah, he has general EDC content. He's been doing some episodes for a while where he takes people's submissions and he kind of critiques them and reviews them and kind of just talks about them. And he does that generally once a week on Friday. That's a really fun thing to watch if you're interested in EDC content and learning a lot about the EDC world. Um, yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. Just some general things for this channel. I'm going to be uploading pretty much as I can. Probably not a consistent basis, just as pretty much as much whenever I have the time and the resources to do it. I will probably be uploading videos um, and different stuff. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it for more content. When you guys are subscribing and commenting and liking, I know that there's people that are watching and it's not just me speaking to a camera. So please do that. That would really help me out. Give me some motivation to keep going until this channel gets bigger. Thank you and peace out.